What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and today I'm bringing you guys the PPL Round 8 Team Builder. This one, again, is on Showdown, not because I didn't have time to make the layouts or anything, but because our actual battle is on Showdown this week, so it's not really like there's a need for me to attempt to make fancy designs and all this other stuff if I'm basically going to be using this exact team on Showdown anyway. This week, I'm going up against Jordinez, who actually, let me pause for one quick second. Okay, sorry about that. I actually had to go get a picture of his team from the spreadsheet and stuff like that. But his team is a very, very, very scary team. He has probably the best core in the entire league, in my honest opinion. I think that if anybody else got this good of a core, there would be too many amazing cores and people would have too much trouble with too many people. Like, that's how good his core is. Like, look at that. Mega Scizor, Heatran, Sylveon, Rotom, Weavile, Druddigon, Floatzel, Seismitoad, and Miltank. Now, going into this match, I have a very, 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 let me say it one more time for you, very bad matchup. Along with the fact that I didn't have a whole lot of time to plan. I just didn't. This week was a long week. I had extra shifts at work, things like that. It was tough. But basically, this was the scenario that I came up with, and I'm actually not going to start with Jirachi. I think I'm actually going to start with my Milotic, because I think Milotic is going to be my dedicated lead. So this Milotic is there mainly to prevent his hazards. Jordinez seems to thrive off of getting hazards and his stealth rocks up extremely early. He has multiple stealth rock setters in Heatran, Seismitoad, Miltank, and Druddigon. If he brings any of those, and he leads, and I can honestly kind of see him leading with any of them aside from Heatran, I think he would probably bring Seismitoad as his rocker the most, because Seismitoad hurts my team a good bit with only 2 coverage moves in Earth Power and Scald, maybe Ice Beam, but it's not like he needs so many moves to hurt me. Like, he can hurt me with just very few moves, and he can just throw Stealth Rocks on there and be happy. So that's kind of why I want to lead with my Milotic. I can go for Magic Coat turn 1, and I can prevent him from getting up rocks, along with getting up rocks on his side of the field. Now, while that might not seem very relevant to a lot of people, that also means that he can't Toxic me first turn on my Milotic. That also means that he has to defog because he doesn't have a spinner. So that means he would have to defog, and if he gets rocks up on my side of the field, he gets rid of my rocks anyway. And that is huge for me. That is absolutely huge for me. So I'm kind of sort of hoping that this Magic Coat turn 1 plays out. I can honestly see it working out. Also, if you don't know, 244 HP on level 50 is the same as 248 to get an odd number of HP. So I'm not wasting 40 Bs, that's basically it. But this thing also can kind of sort of stall out a lot of his team. His Miltank, I can't touch with anything on my team at all. Like, I can try, I can do good damage, but if I miss attacks, if he sets up a curse, if he's a weird set, I can't touch it. I wanted to run Nasty Plot Houndoom, but then I realized that I would need like 4 moves to his entire team, and you know, as much as this pains me to say, I can't run 5 moves on a Pokemon, so that really does suck. But being able to Scald his entire team basically freely once Seismitoad is gone, because Seismitoad, yes, it can't touch me. B, I can't touch it, but if I Toxic it, I can stall the fuck out of it, and I have no problem doing that if I have to. Like, it's coming to the point where I have to win every single match, and if I have to stall people out of their Pokemon, I will. If I can get Scald Burns on Mega Scizor, if I can hit Sylveon with a Toxic, that'd be really nice. Even if he has Heal Bell, I don't give a shit. That little bit of residual damage forcing him to Wish is perfect, and it gives me just enough time to gain some momentum. But that's basically all my Milotic is there for. It's my lead. I'm going to Magic Coat. I'm going to hopefully get rocks up on his side of the field using my Milotic. The next Pokemon that I wanted to go over was my Clefable. The main reason why I'm bringing Stealth Rocks on Clefable is because I need to have rocks. If my Magic Coat doesn't work, I need to have a backup plan for rocks. If I don't, I'm screwed. Another thing is he only has 2 immunities to Thunder Wave, one of which, I mean, both of which kind of sort of scare me out, but you know, if they come in, I have kind of sort of free switch-ins to other things whenever they come in. Like, for his RubyMarrow, I can go into my Electivire. For his Seismitoad, I can go into my Melodic. So I have a couple different switch-ins. The main problem that I've found when building my team is that Weavile is a massive threat, just because of the coverage that it can have in Knockoff, Low Kick for Kyurem, Ice Skull Crash, Ice Shard, Pursuit. There's so much that this thing can do to my team to hurt it. So I needed to have also Poison Jab for Clefable. I needed to have another dedicated switch in. Needed to have something that if I got scared, if I saw that he's Life Orb and I need to be able to sack something off, bring this in and scare him out and potentially get status off on something else, this is that mon to do. Because if he's Life Orb, I have a Brox, he's instantly taking 30% and he dies to a Moonblast, he dies to so many other hits after taking Stealth Rock damage, so that's really nice for me. But that's basically all Clefable's here for. Another thing that I really want Clefable to do is I want the Thunder Wave Miltank. Now, while that might not seem very ideal or very big, if I can Thunder Wave it, I can Parapunch it. And that's basically my main strategy to taking that thing out, because even though I'm relying on luck, I have nothing else that can take it out. Like, I could run Kyurem with Focus Blast if he's defensive and do like about 80%, but then I'm relying on Focus Blast to hit. I'm relying on Mega Scizor not coming in and bullet punching me to all death and back. I'm relying on Weavile to not go for Low Kick on me, and Heatran to not go for Flash Cannon, Sylveon for Hyper Voice, Druddigon for Dragon Claw and Living. Like, there's so much that I wish Kyurem wasn't weak to for this match, but he is. So I have a very tough matchup just alone, because I can't instantly, one mon is cut out. I can't bring it. But that is Clefable. It's gonna be a very good wall this match. I need to make sure that I don't let it get worn down. I think the next one I'm gonna go into is actually Gligar. I'm gonna go over my 3 walls first. This thing is actually kind of important. As you notice, I have another Stealth Rocker. That's how important Stealth Rocks are this match. I'm considering taking off Stealth Rocks on Clefable and putting on Flamethrower, but if I find out that his main dedicated switch into Clefable is Heatran, I can't really spam Flamethrower because of that. So I kind of, whenever I have Clefable in on something, I need to go for Thunder Wave. So I'm considering taking Stealth Rocks off for Flamethrower. I'm really considering it. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. Because, my Gligar can actually set up rocks on multiple things on his team. I can set him up on Scizor, force him to defog. And, you know, the thing is, I strongly consider taking off defog for a U-turn as well, because I don't need defog if he has it, and I'm going to be forcing him to defog his own hazards away. So I'm also considering taking off defog for U-turn. I really am. I wanted to put on Fire Fang to hit his Mega Scizor, but it's not really worth it. Earthquake does about the same amount of damage anyway, which is really weird, but that's just how it is with stabs and 4 times effectiveness and his pitiful attack. Whatever. This thing is mainly there to just wall, get up hazards, and hit Heatran for super effective damage. If he's offensive Tran with Flash Cannon, he still can't KO me with Eviolite, so that's really nice. This thing is also able to hit Sylveon for a decent chunk of damage, and I can kind of sort of stall stuff out if I get enough Toxics on things with my Melodic, so that's really nice too. But if I change Defog to U-turn before the match, I'll let you know that, but that's basically all Gligar there for, is to set up rocks. Defog, maybe U-turn, I'm not sure. The next one I'm actually going to go into is Jirachi, because it's probably my most normal set. I'm running an Adamant Nature. The reason being, because the only thing that this thing would have to outspeed is RubyMarrow. If he brings offensive RubyMarrow, he's going to be bringing it Scarfed anyway, and I'm not going to outspeed it. Otherwise, I'll outspeed everything on his team anyway. So I wanted to bring Adamant. I also don't really care if my special attack is lowered, even though I have Energy Ball, because if I was like Lax, I think that's the nature. I'm not really sure, but I don't want to change it just because I don't really care that much. But if I was like plus attack minus defense or something like that, I wouldn't. I still would 2-hit KO Seismitoad with Energy Ball, so that's why that's there. Ironhead is there because it does a shit ton of damage to Sylveon. It's actually a 2-hit KO, very easy 2-hit KO. If I can Thunder Wave his Heatran, I can Paraflinch that with Ironhead if I have to. I don't really care. Drain Punch also does a decent chunk to that, even though if I'm staying in, I'm a man, so yeah. Also, like I said, Paraflinching the Miltank is probably the main way that I'm going to be trying to stop it. Because I'm terrified of that fat ass cow. I'm kind of hoping he brings Curse, because if he brings Curse, that means that my Clefable can do a lot of work to it, and Moonblast is about 34%, and then I can go into something else and hit it really hard, so I'm really hoping that works out. But it's basically Jirachi. They're mainly to just hit stuff. It does decent damage to at least everything on his team, so that's really nice. This next Mon is going to be Electivire. I'm bringing Expert Belt again. I wanted to bring Banded, but I didn't want to risk all that bullshit, so yeah. Cross Chop. This is where I can scout to see what kind of set his Miltank is. Cross Chop has 80% accuracy. That's not good for me. Like, that's not good at all. But if I can hit his Miltank with it, it's going to do a shit ton of damage if he's specially defensive. It's going to do about 80% if he's specially defensive. However, if he's physically defensive, it does 50% minimum. So it's either 50 to 62 or like 65 to like 80. So whenever I scout that, I can be like, okay, this is how I'm going to take it out next turn. So that's basically what that's there for. Fire Punch for Mega Scizor, Earthquake for Heatran, pretty self-explanatory. Fire Punch for Rotom and Weavile. And I'm also carrying Volt Switch, even though I'm adamant again, just for initiative. Like, it's not there to do damage. Yeah, it'll hit Floatzel. He's not going to break Floatzel. I can't really touch Seismitoad, but that's fine, because if I was staying on Seismitoad anyway, I would lose that match no matter what. So that's not really something I can be okay with. But overall, I'm not too confident about this matchup at all. I'm just really worried because I don't have a good matchup at all. I'm so worried about the fact that he can just drop stuff in and force me out every single time, no matter what it is. It's going to be a very long match. Now, this final Pokemon is my biggest win condition. The entire season, I've run Bulky Bat. The entire season. I've never run offensive. I've never run Choice Bandit. Never. However, it's time for Special Crobat. Special Crobat puts in the work against his team. I actually wanted to, hold on one second, I actually just opened up another program. Very professional, right? I don't really want to run Black Sludge. However, with me not running Roost and running 4 attacks, I need to have some sort of reliable recovery in something. Even though Giga Drain does like a lot to Seismitoad, and if I Giga Drain the Seismitoad and I have Expert Belt, I one-shot it anyway, so that's kind of cool. However, this thing is there to break down his wall core, because once his wall core is gone, I can kind of sort of wall his like sweepers pretty easily in Weavile, because once his walls are gone, I have more to take on his sweepers and my sweepers plus my wall. So that's mainly what this thing is here for. Hidden Power Ground for Heatran does about 40% if he is specially defensive. Cross Poison on a specially defensive Sylveon, which is what I think he will be, does about 57%, so it's an easy 2-hit KO. Heat Wave does about 84 to 100% to a Mega Scizor with max HP. So that's very nice. If he takes Stealth Rock's damage, he's instantly in range, and he can't really do a whole lot to me back. I just need to be careful about what I go for against it, because if I go for Heat Wave, he lives on like 10% somehow, and then I cannot kill him with the Hidden Power Ground. That's one thing I have to watch out for. So Heat Wave does a lot to Rotom, Heat Wave does a lot to Weavile. I can't really touch his Druddigon, I realize that, but Giga Drain does a lot to Floatzel, I outspeed. Giga Drain nukes the Seismitoad, and actually Giga Drain does a decent amount to Miltank if he's not Sap Sipper. If he's Sap Sipper, then I can't really touch this thing, and I kind of have to rely on something else to kill it, like Toxic Damage plus Cross Chop and Drain Punch and Paraflinch. So I have multiple ways to take out Miltank. It's just that the number one way I'm going to be relying on it is Paraflinch. But this thing just punches holes through his entire team. I wanted to run Nasty Plot. However, if I ran Nasty Plot, I couldn't touch something on his team. The exact same problem I had with Mega Houndoom, except this thing actually gets the coverage to hurt his Seismitoad, while Mega Houndoom does not. I would have to run either Hidden Power Ground or Hidden Power Grass. So that's why I ended up going with Crobat over Mega Houndoom. Another thing that this thing does a lot is he has no switch-ins to it. Whenever he thinks he has a switch-in, I can reveal another move and be like, yo, bro, you don't have a switch into this, and scare him out again. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for with this. It's very nerve-wracking, but you know, it is what it is. Jordinez, we haven't battled yet. It's I'm recording this at 11:52 in the morning on Saturday. We are battling about 7 p.m. tonight, my time. So good luck, Jordan. It's going to be a tough match for me, but I'm going to be giving it my all, and I really hope he does too. Neither one of us had a whole lot of time to prep, so it's going to be interesting to see what we brought. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure you leave a like down below. Also, make sure you go check out Jordinez's channel in the description. He has some really cool PPL matches. Even though he's running through a tough streak of luck with his computer and phone and stuff like that. But with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out. Hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.